Hi, my name is Hannah Hampton, and these are my Unit 10 weather observations. As a reminder, my weather observation station is in the North Pole, just southeast of Fairbanks. I took my measurements from Monday, March 23rd to Thursday, the 26th, and on Saturday, the 28th, at about 6:30 p.m., and at 10:30 p.m. on the 25th. I will be using the Fairbanks International Airport for my National Weather Service data station. Measurements were much more enjoyable in March than they were in January. I was able to gather a nice range of high and low temperatures, which was a big relief from LL.L like last time. As we can see, I forgot to reset my thermometer before setting it up outside, which gave me a high of the indoor temperature and a low of 0 degrees Fahrenheit. On this day, the Beaufort scale measured 0, with no noticeable feeling or effects of wind. There were no clouds or precipitation. The rest of the week resembles the NWS's data and the gradual warming throughout the week, with highs a bit warmer and lows a bit colder. On March 24th, it was much the same as the 23rd. My recorded low was 0 degrees Fahrenheit, and the high was 50.3 degrees Fahrenheit. The Beaufort scale was still a 0, and there were no clouds or precipitation. Because I got home late on March 25th, I took my measurements at 10:30. I measured a low of 8 degrees Fahrenheit with a high of 58 degrees Fahrenheit. The Beaufort scale remained at 0. There was no precipitation. The clouds I noticed earlier in the day were altostratus clouds, stretched thin but opaque. On March 26th, I measured a low of 10.8 degrees Fahrenheit and a high of 59.6 degrees Fahrenheit. The Beaufort scale was a 0. A few thin, wispy, and highly elevated cirrus clouds appeared, as well as thick and puffy cumulus clouds. There was no precipitation. I did not measure on the 27th, rather I finished measurements on Saturday the 28th. I recorded the low to be 18.9 degrees Fahrenheit and the high to be 56.9 degrees Fahrenheit. The Beaufort scale was still 0, and there were no clouds or precipitation. My barometric pressure readings were close to the Fairbanks International Airports in the beginning of the week. NWS had a reading of 1,014 millibars on the 23rd, and I measured 1,012 millibars. On the 24th, the NWS and I both measured 1,009 millibars. However, at the end of the week, I measured no variation from 996 millibars. I may not have shown an increase in the pressure from the 26th to the 28th because I did not measure on the 27th. On Monday, March 23rd, there were high pressure systems moving from the south to the north of the state. That accounts for the 1,012 millibars I measured that day. This low pressure system continued to drop from the previous day, as the high pressure systems moved east into Canada. As we can see, the interior has clear skies on this day. I recorded a barometric pressure drop on the 25th, and as we can see, the first low pressure system dropped, and a second low pressure system formed. And here are scattered clouds over the North Pole area. The low pressure systems moved north, as I measured a barometric pressure of 996 millibars. Most of the state was covered by clouds by the 26th, which was the second day I recorded seeing clouds. On the last day of my observations, the low pressure system continued to drop. Clouds covered most of the state, with scattered clouds along the middle. This slide shows the TV weather map and GOES images from March 25th. To the south are low pressure systems, accounting for my low barometric pressure I measured that day. From the visible image, we can tell by the white patches most of the state was covered in clouds. From the water vapor image, we can tell there was precipitation, especially along the base of the Aleutian Islands. From the infrared image, the lighter color across the south and north of the state suggests it was colder there, while it was warmer in the interior, judging by the darker color. Thank you for watching my Unit 10 weather observations.